This vehicle, what I'm doing now is I'm going to change the spark plugs in my Chevy Captiva. First off, you have to disconnect and remove the air filter, air breather system. Lay it to the side. And this plastic cover that's on top of your engine, you have to take your oil fill cap out because it's part of what holds it down. Then you have to pop it loose. Now it does not pop loose as easy as I just took it out. I had already previously popped it loose. Lay that off to the side. Now, with this it has individual coils. Now these plugs that's on there to plug the coil in, you have to be very careful that you do not break the clip. Because if you break the clip, then that's going to cause other problems. Now, the little white section here, this little white section is a lock on the clip. You have to loosen that up. Now, I've already loosened 3 of them. I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, I'm just using a piece of heavy wire. I gotta push on them a little bit, get them a little loose. Then the centerpiece, you gotta push it down as you move that clip backwards. Come on. There's something away. There. Now this clip came all the way out on me. That's okay. I'll just lay it up to the side. Then you just squeeze this down and push the harness off of them. Now, at that point, you have to get your socket and ratchet and take the keeper bolt out. Keeper bolts sometimes can be real long, as you see. Now, then you have to be very careful again as you twist and pull the coil off. Lay it up to the side. Then you get your spark plug socket. Drop it down in there so it goes all the way onto the plug. Now on an older vehicle, you used to have to gap the plug on it. Set the plug gap on your own. Today's times, most of your spark plugs come already pre-gapped. Pull it up as you, I don't know if you can see it or not, but these plugs are a little dirty. Just take the plug out of there, out of the side. You get your new plug, which I prefer to use OEM parts, if at all possible. Put it in your socket, and by hand, very carefully, you put that in there and install your plug. Because you do it carefully by hand because you don't want to cross thread. If you cross thread it, then you have serious problems because then you're going to have to pull it apart, take the head off and everything else clean them out. To re-thread it, if it can be re-threaded. You may even have to put a new head on if you mess it up. Ratchet back up, which it doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. Switch it to tighten, and you just snug it. Right, pull your tools, pull your socket back out, and you put your coil back in. Now you want to only do this one at a time, because you want the same coil to go back onto the same plug. Now if you're putting new coils in, then it doesn't matter because they're all the same. You don't want to over tighten anything. You just want it tight enough that it's going to stay there. And you plug in the coil and you hear it snap. You take the little clip and push it all the way in. That locks it on. Now it can't come back off. Then you go on to the next one. As you can see, changing spark plugs on this particular engine is fairly easy. As you've seen, I was able to put it in fairly easily. Coming out, they're a little hard. They lock themselves in. You want to be very careful that you don't break the plug. Go. Pull that one out, which that one is pretty dirty too. And again, you just put it inside the socket. Very carefully lower it down in and screw it in. As I just showed you on those two plugs there, you just follow that same procedure for all your spark plugs until you have them all replaced. This one here's the one that my little lock clip come all the way out. back in. Now, I'm not going to show you with doing the other two plugs right this moment. I'm going to let you just follow the procedure that I showed you with the first two for the rest of your plugs. Now, while I got this apart, I'm going to check my air breather. Check my filter, see if it needs to be replaced or not. Now, some of your filter, where the air filters are at, have screws in like this one does. Others have little snap clips that hold it together. Now, that one's got a different thing on it. So, okay, they put a wrench style hex head bolt on that one. But that would be your procedure for checking your air filter. You take all the screws out, you unlock your clip on the mass airflow sensor and unplug it. Remove the top and check your filter. Now, I don't have the tool with me to take this here bolt here out, which I'll get that later. And that's the way that you change plugs on this particular little 4-cylinder engine in this 2014 Chevy Captiva. That'll be all for this video, folks.